The WNBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Bird Dog Shorts. Dominate this summer with an amazing pair of free shorts, not free shorts, a free Yeti style tumbler, and you can get an amazing pair of shorts, free Yeti style tumbler with your purchase of a pair of Bird Dog shorts when you order over at birddogs.com/pool. That is birddogs.com/pool. Yes, sir. We are back with another edition of the WNBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. No me, no the voice, no the guys. Me, really real, villain real, Terrell from Virginia here at your service. And another week. Another week of wins for the WNBA. I mean, at this point, it just feels like the books are going to try to shut us down because we're killing them. We're killing them. Do we get it all right? No. But do we get over 56% right on the season? Absolutely. Scott Studio Reichel. Scott, what's going on?
Nothing much. Doing pretty well. I know that last episode I unfortunately took the lock and dog in the same game and I lost both. But I know that I swept everything on the other two games on the card, so I still hit 66%. The problem was I might have maximized the two bad plays that I had in the card. But still, I'm looking forward to going through the slate. Overall, I know we've been doing well on the show, so let's keep it rolling.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it's fine. The storm didn't storm last time out. They actually did the opposite of storm. They showered. But it's okay because April showers bring May flowers, bring June freaking locks, because we have the Seattle storm coming up here again, and we'll talk about them a little later. Just one more time for them. Abso-freaking-lutely. Man, that bad beat for me was brutal, though. Under 79.5 for the Washington Mystics team total. When we got...
They don't call it undertime. Last time I checked, that's called overtime,
Oh, my gosh. 80. They came in at 80. It was a last-second foul that didn't mean anything to the game. The game was already over. They could have just let the time run out.
Oh, my bad. I thought you meant the Mystics Liberty game over the weekend. Sorry.
Oh, no. We're talking about before.
Yeah, my bad. I didn't realize. Sorry.
I did end up losing an under on that, though, because, I bet every single Mystics under. But, man, two good scoring games on the road for the Mystics. Maybe the road woes are over as soon as I point them out.
I still can't believe they lost to the Liberty over the weekend.
It turned out exactly how I had it. If you go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WNBA-picks, you'll see I had the Liberty on the money line, but the Mystics to win the game because the New York Liberty are not in a position where they need to be laying 8 points against any team.
You mean on the spread? You had the Mystics on the spread. Okay.
Yeah, on the spread. So Mystics plus 7.5. It was the line I got. Liberty on the money line. OT was fun. OT was just pure fun, and that's what I need in the W. But we got a show. We got 3 games, and we got to kick things off rather quickly. But before we go ahead and dive into the slate, I got to talk to you about Bird Dog's shorts, the amazing stretch khaki shorts. They also have really cool swim trunks as well. So if you want to get you a new pair of swim trunks for you or maybe the kids or anything like that for the summer, tap into Bird Dogs because they have this crazy fabric that stretches, gives you a slimmer fit without having to sacrifice movement. You're not going to rip your shorts anytime you do anything. You'll be able to do everything you can, and it's not going to be stiff. It's not going to feel like somebody just took a freaking can of starch and sprayed it all over your shorts before they ironed. Do people even use starch anymore when they iron their clothes? Is that still a thing? Do people even use that? I don't even think people use that. I haven't seen starch in the stores in forever. Why? Because it sucks. But Bird Dogs, you don't need anything like that because it's got such a nice stretch fit, slim fit, exactly how I like it. So this is what you're going to do. Go to birddogs.com/pool. Enter the promo code POOL, POOL, for a free Yeti style tumbler with your order. That's birddogs.com/pool for a free Yeti style tumbler with your order. We promise you won't want to take your Bird Dogs off. All right, next, let's start this slate off. 3 games on a Tuesday in the WNBA. First up, Liberty Bibberty. We have the New York Liberty. I feel a sneeze that's about to come. Yo, if I sneeze, y'all gonna know. Like I feel it about to come and it's not coming. And so, whoa, wow, okay, pause. But I
I'm
feel
gonna
like
let
I'm
you
about to
take it
sneeze.
from here. I'm just sitting over here.
I
Don't
just
mind
feel
that.
I
You know.
just feel like I gotta sneeze. And so if I sneeze randomly, that's why. Liberty Bibberty, New York Liberty, traveling to Connecticut Sun. That was really crazy. -5.5 is the line. Opened up at 4, all the way up to -5.5. 166.5 is the total. Injury report here for these two teams. And I see, of course, we already know Breonna Jones out for the season with Achilles injury. Super brutal loss for them. And Tiffany Hayes is questionable with the face injury for the Connecticut Sun. For the New York Liberty, we have Stephanie Dolson out for a while with an ankle injury. This and the other two games. So all three games tonight, Commissioner Cup games. Very, very big game here because if you look at the Commissioner Cup standings, we have Connecticut in the Eastern Conference #1 at 6-2, and the New York Liberty right behind them, one game back at 5-3. So this is essentially puts you in, I wouldn't say the driver's seat because there's still a point differential for the Connecticut Sun here, unless the Liberty come out here and blow them out. They still got
You're
about,
in a good spot.
yeah, you're in a very good spot. So 10 point differential, but both of these two teams effectively playing for first place in the Eastern Conference for the Commissioner's Cup. So Scott, with that, because that is a very big piece of intel, what are you doing here with the New York Liberty laying 5.5?
I really think the Breonna Jones injury is fascinating, not just because of how good she is, but because you're looking at how Connecticut has played since her injury, and AT just decided to become a triple double monster, and they keep winning. So Connecticut's actually been decent in her absence. Now, where long term they're going to be worse because Breonna Jones is a very good player, but I want to at least give them props to for keeping it together for now, and we'll see what happens. Now they played earlier this season, and the Liberty did win by 16.
Uh-huh.
But I think for this game, I'm going to look at the over. Connecticut's played faster ever since Breonna Jones got hurt, and the Liberty we know want to play fast anyway. For the side, I think I'm going to lean to Connecticut at home. Getting 5 with this Connecticut team at home does seem pretty appealing, especially with the Liberty off of an overtime game. But I do like the over. I just think the pace is going to be there. Both teams we know are very good offensively. I think you're going to see a decent amount of points in this game.
Oh, man.
Unless you think both teams bring it defensively for the Commissioner's Cup, but I got to go by recent form. Connecticut has played faster recently without Breonna Jones.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm there on the total yet. I really don't know how I want to attack this game because
Let's start with the side. Do you want to be laying 5 with a road team against Connecticut?
not really.
Yeah, neither do I.
Not really. I can see New York winning the game. Is it going to be a closer game? Like, does Connecticut, look at the point differential, like 10 points. You're telling me that they say that, all right, we're out of this, but we can still hold on to first place here because they've already lost one head to head. So they've already played the one head to head with the Liberty already, and they lost that game. That's when the Liberty dogged them out in New York. But, and this is game 9. So with one game to go, they don't compete in this one. I think they compete. The Commissioner's Cup, again, for those who don't know, these women are playing for $500,000 to be, for them to
Yeah.
split through the team. Like that's a lot of money, especially for some people that are making like $80,000-$90,000 for the season. Like that's a lot of money. So to be splitting, and I I think that the Commissioner Cup's proven last year with Chicago that there's a lot of teams that take it very, very serious. They want to put themselves in position to go win. And it looks like the last game for the Connecticut Sun is against the Chicago Sky, and the last game for the New York Liberty is against the Indiana Fever for the last. So assuming both of those teams win against the Sky and the Fever, who are two teams that while they're playing better, they're down at the bottom of the conference. You got to assume that this is going to be the game that's really going to decide it here. And I just think Connecticut's going to show up a little bit better at home, knowing they got blown out by this team on the road. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm going Connecticut +5.5 here. It's crazy. We're the New York Liberty fans, and it's not too many times we're backing the Liberty on the spread, but it just doesn't seem like the right point in the season to really, really back them. So I will be there with you. I'm taking Connecticut plus 5.5. I think the New York Liberty, while they are a very good team, Connecticut still has a lot of options. And Alyssa Thomas, with Brianna Jones being out, has been able to kind of fill in there down low in the post, but that helps her assist. Like, she's able to spot shooters on the outside, give somebody a lane to the basket and be able to drive and get an easy two, or find a cutting, somebody cutting from the baseline on the other side. Like, she just finds so many different ways to keep this offense going, even without Brianna Jones in the lineup, that yes, they're going to feel it without Brianna Jones, but Alyssa Thomas might be playing herself in an MVP conversation yet again, and making my 40-1 Alyssa Thomas MVP ticket more and more and more enticing, despite what Breanna Stewart, Jackie Young, and some others might be doing. So, yep, Connecticut Sun here, plus 5.5. I'm in agreement with you. I don't know if I'm there on the over, though.
It was more just a lean, but that's kind of how I'm looking. But
yeah, I am. Let me see.
I probably won't have any money on the total in this game, especially with Commissioner Cup stuff. But I do think that based on the style of play, I'll lean to the over.
I think if I play an over, I want to back Connecticut. I want to back Connecticut team total over.
Okay.
And I say that because, one, I just think this means a lot more for them than it does for New York. One, a lot of people in New York are getting a lot of money. A lot of people in this New York team is getting a lot of money. So just that. But it feels like this is like the I was about to say little brother, little sister, big sister type moment type thing where, everybody's been talking about New York all year. And to this point, Connecticut is 12-3. New York is 9-3. So, I mean, yes, there's a difference in amount of games played, but Connecticut's still technically number one in the Eastern Conference, and nobody is giving them the credit. They're just saying, they're saying what I'm saying, and that New York is going to turn it on at some point. So I think this means a lot for Connecticut. They get up for this. So I'll take Connecticut team total over, and that's kind of how I'll play the total. But I'm not there yet. I'm not 100% there yet on the over. I need the rest of the day. Yeah, let's talk about the player props, because Double B in the chat is asking, is Bonner going crazy tonight? DeWanna Bonner has, I believe, 20 points in her last 4 games straight. I know she got 20 her last game because I put her into underdogfantasy.com/SGPN, and I hit an underdog play with her this weekend. She had 26. Last 4 games for DeWanna Bonner. Last 5 games, I'm sorry, for DeWanna Bonner: 26, 11, 20, 20, 20.
I'm expecting AT to bounce back personally, because in the first meeting she went 0 for 5 and had 5 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists. I think she'll play a lot better. First game, Bonner at 14 points, only 4 of 13 shooting. So I am going to agree with you on the over for Bonner, if that's the case you were going to make, because once again, she still scored 14, but she only went 4 for 13, and she should be taking more shots. So I'm on Bonner over. I think she's in line for a good game.
We have DeWanna Bonner here at 18.5, Alyssa Thomas at 15.5. And I mean, it's really hard not to think that it doesn't run through those two players in some form or fashion. They keep trying to move Alyssa Thomas assist lineup, thinking I'm going to be afraid to take it. And I'm never afraid to take it. We have started the season. I just want this to go on record again. We have started the season Alyssa Thomas assists at 5.5. It was juiced at that 5.5. They understood that they were pushing their luck with that 5.5. Then it went up to 6.5 for plus money. Then it got juiced. Now it's at 7.5 for plus money. Then it got juiced. Now we're at 7.5 minus 130. Are you off of it? I'm not off of it. I'm still playing it.
I mean, you mentioned her potentially winning MVP. I would put a bet on her, especially with what she has to do with this team now, and if they finish with the best record in the East. Yeah, I'm not going to stay in front of AT. She's just been really, really good.
Yeah, I'm with you there. All right, let's talk about, because we never really, I mean, everybody knows Breanna Stewart. Sabrina Ionescu had 30 in that last game.
Yeah.
Her points prior to that last game was 16.5. It's now at 17.5. So they tried to acclimate for it a little bit. How do we handicap Sabrina going off? Do we just say she's going to go off more than she's not? Like, how do you kind of handicap Sabrina and what she's going to do, because sometimes she doesn't have to do much. They just beat the Atlanta Dream by 30, and she had 8 points, and then comes back and has a 31 piece at home.
Yeah, I wish that there were more 3-pointers available, because I would just take the Ionescu over. Because if she's going to drop 30, she's making like 6 3-pointers. Like, that's just what's going to happen. So I think the way I'm going to go about it is actually not by looking at Ionescu. I'm going to look at Vandersloot assists. Because with Ionescu and the way that this offense runs, Ionescu does play a decent amount off ball, and she does take a lot of threes. But you're looking at how this offense actually organizes itself, and Vandersloot does have a lot of possession of the basketball to set up some off-ball screens and actions for Ionescu and Stewart. So it's not the exact same thing, but I think it is correlated. I'm looking at Vandersloot assists because there's a couple ways to get there. Either Ionescu hits a bunch of threes, and Vandersloot probably gets a bunch of assists from those, or she just does a good job of getting Ionescu in good spots, also finding Breanna Stewart in the supporting cast of getting open shots as well. I'm looking at Vandersloot assists in this game. If you think that Ionescu, for example, and the Liberty maybe have themselves a good offensive game.
Yeah, I like that look as well. And thinking,
and she had 10 in the first meeting against Connecticut this season.
Yeah, she's been really, really good. I've been tailing her assists very recently as well, a lot more than what I had. And past few games, 6, 11, 6, 6, 10, 11, 10, 8. So that's her month of June. She's averaging. Oh, wow. It doesn't have an average. Okay. Never mind. I thought I had an average for the month of June. Whatever. I'm not doing the math. All you know is she's doing really good. Never had less than 6 assists in the month of June. Courtney Vandersloot, I see her on underdog at 8.5 assists tonight. I'm with you. I think she's closer into double-double territory than getting under 8.5 assists.
Yep.
All right. Before we get to the next game of the slate, got to talk to you about underdog. We just mentioned it. You can get Courtney Vandersloot over 8.5 assists, and we can get Alyssa Thomas over 7.5 assists, and we can get Alyssa Thomas at 8. All right, so we
Bonner
can talk
points.
Oh yeah, Bonner over 18. That's good. I don't think they have an answer, and we didn't talk about her, but let's throw her in there because she's playing against her former team. No Breanna Jones. Let's put Jonquel Jones over 7.5 rebounds. That's going to get you 10 times the money you put in on underdog. And that's just one of the many things you can do on underdog. You can have pick'em contests with WNBA. You could throw MLB in there too. Honestly, if you want to tap in the MLB lane, do that. And listen to Scott and all those other guys on the MLB gambling podcast. But you also have Best Ball Mania 4, where Underdog's giving away $15 million in prizes for the NFL season. Head over to UnderdogFantasy.com. Use promo code SGPN for 100% deposit bonus up to $100. That's UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code SGPN. Nice little same game parlay we dropped there for the people. 10 times your investment if everything hits on a 4-pick. I like that. I'm going to put that in. All right. Next game on the slate, we have the Minnesota Lynx welcoming the Seattle Storm. Lynx are -3.5 at home. Open up is -2.5. Up to -3.5. 160.5 is the total. Injury report here for these two teams. And we have for the Minnesota Lynx, Tiffany Mitchell is out with the wrist injury. We're still missing Diamond Miller, their second overall pick. You've got Jessica Shepard and Ariel Powers, who are both out indefinitely right now. And for the Seattle Storm, Jordan Horston is actually doubtful with the shoulder injury. So rookie player Jordan Horston coming over for them. Played really solid this season. May not always pop up on the stat sheet, but adds a contribution to this team. She is doubtful to play today. I don't think Jordan Horston's warning a 1-point line move or 3.5 points to the under on the total. So, Scott, how are you looking at this game?
Well, in general, both teams are equally bad at 4-9 on the season straight up. Minnesota is 1-5 at home straight up, while Seattle's 2-2. Seattle's been okay recently. I mean, I mentioned before in previous podcasts that the record's not great, but they have faced off against good teams. And they finally faced off against a couple of mediocre to bad teams. Faced off against Dallas, and they won that one by 6. Faced off against Indiana, they lost by 12, but they faced off against the Mercury, who are a complete dumpster fire, and they won that game by 23. I think I'm going to take the points. Just simply put, the Storm have been good to us against the spread. Minnesota's been really bad at home. Jewel Lloyd, in my opinion, is easily the best player on the floor in this game. And even Kia Nurse is healthy again. And I just think that overall their team isn't as bad as the record indicates. So I'm going to go with Seattle plus the points, potentially on the money line. I really don't want to lay points with a 1-5 team straight up at home. That I just can't do.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't lay points to them either, and they're not even good against the spread. 6-7 against the spread this season for the Minnesota Lynx, whereas Seattle 8-5.
Yeah.
8-5 against the spread, 7-4 as an underdog. And 0-3 is a favorite for Minnesota. Let's throw that in there. They are 0-3 as a favorite this season. So I'm with you. I'm not laying points with this Minnesota team. They're not good enough for me. I have a lot of concerns. While they had a very, very good, what was that? The very, very good three-way series. I guess some way with the Aces kind of dropped in there where they swept 3 games against the Sparks, 1 at home, 2 on the road. I just think that matchup just kind of fit a little bit better for them. But they gave up 93 to the Aces in between there. They gave up 89 to the Sun in between there. 2 a lot better teams. Now, I'm going to say that Seattle is closer to the Sparks than they are closer to the Aces and the Sun, but I'm not going against this Seattle team as an underdog right now. They're really, really good, and I'm going to continue to back them. It just feels like you're getting a favorable number. I thought this number was going to be closer to a pick, and it was going to really make me make me have to decide something here.
Yeah.
But no, I feel pretty confident in just going ahead and taking the points here with the Seattle Storm. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yep. Let's hear it. Boom. All right. Total here is interesting, though, because the total opened up 164. It's down to 160.5. My immediate thought was over when I saw 164.
Can I really take an under when it's already dropped like 3.5, 4 points?
It wouldn't be you're not getting the best part of the line. That's very much true. And let's just look at the last 4 games here let's do last 5. Last 5 games here for these 2 teams. And for the Minnesota Lynx, better defense. Again, 3 of these last 5 games were against Los Angeles, but 80.2 points per game. And for the Seattle Storm, 87.6. So I still am not a believer in the Minnesota Lynx defense. That was opponents' points per game, by the way. I'm still not a believer in this Minnesota Lynx defense. And I think that while they do have, larger bodies, that Jewel Lloyd and the backcourt for this Seattle Storm team can kind of carry them a little bit in the scoring aspect. If I'm going to play it, I'm going to play it over in some aspect. And I'll take Seattle team total over. I think Seattle is going to be able to score in this one.
Yeah, that I can get behind. I think for the sake of this full game total, I'll lean under, but I'm not going to bet it. I am going to lean the Seattle team total over, I guess, because I think they're going to win the game. But I really don't have a strong opinion on the total in this game.
Yeah. Seattle's team total is at 79.5. So we need them to get to 80 today. I think they get there. Minnesota, I'm not certain on.
Yeah. Minnesota can't really score. So,
and it's just so many injuries. Like they just have so many injuries. Like going back,
just by the way, I know you're going to mention the injuries, but Minnesota, for reference, has scored less than 69 points in each of the last 3 games.
Yeah, so that's brutal, and that's really where that under is kind of like really tempting. But Tiffany Mitchell, she's out. Like that's reported, she's out. She could have potentially threw her name in a hat, but still can potentially throw her name in a hat for most improved. Diamond Miller's gone. Jessica Shepard's not there. Area Power's not there. Like, how many people are going to be out before I just sit there and say that they're going to have an issue scoring? And it's going to be Nafisa Collier and sprinkle in Caleb McBride.
And they're still favored. Like, how are you missing this many people and you're still favored? Seattle's relatively healthy.
And people are betting them. Like, people are betting them. So it's like some 60, 70% of the money that's coming in on Minnesota right now. And I'm not going to do it. So, yeah, Seattle team total over. That's how I'm looking at it. If I had to take I can't take I don't Seattle team total over under for the game, but Seattle team total over because I can't trust Minnesota. I really don't think maybe we should just say Minnesota team total under.
Yeah,
Is
I don't
Minnesota
mind
really
that.
going to drop 81?
They're so injured. Like it's not even about Seattle's bad defense. It's the fact that Minnesota can't score, and a big reason is because a lot of their key players are hurt.
81 and a half is the number. Yeah, Minnesota.
That does feel high.
Minnesota under, Seattle over. That's how you play the total. That's how you do it. All right.
Yeah.
Player props. Anything else you like that I mean, Jewel Lloyd and Nafisa Collier, that just really feels like the handicap for me.
I don't really have much else, to be honest. I don't
Yeah.
know how many players on each team I actually want to back on a regular basis.
And give me Easy Mbedder's rebounds. That's the so Jules points, Nafisa Collier's points. Let me get you an actual number on underdog. And we need to make another underdog lineup there because that's a nice little SGP. So Jewel Lloyd over 25 points, Easy Mbedder over 8.5 rebounds. And let me get, where are you at? Nafisa Collier over 22.5 points. I think she still gets there. All right. Last game on the slate. We have the Dallas Wings traveling to Phoenix to play the Phoenix Mercury. Wings opened up as a 4-point favorite down to 3.5. Total opened up at 168.5, and it is now down to 167.5. Injury report for these two teams. And for the Dallas Wings, you have still same thing. Pretty clean injury report for them, actually. We know that you're not going to see Lou Lopez or Diamond DeShields anytime soon. And for the Mercury, you have Sophie Cunningham, who is questionable with a back injury, Shea Petty, who is out with an Achilles, and Megan Gustafson, who is out with a concussion. However, for whatever it's worth, I guess the Phoenix Mercury have a get up spot because they did fire their coach over the weekend. I mean, I don't think it was her fault that they were bad, but
it was long overdue.
Yeah, it had to be done. It had to be done. She doesn't deserve all the blame, but she deserves enough to get fired. And so, I mean,
are you expecting a step up spot at home? That's really the only case you can make for Phoenix because this team is just bad.
I don't think the get up spot comes until Skylar Diggins walks into the facility like tomorrow because the coach got fired. So now she's like, all right, I'll come in here now. It's not, they're not getting up until Skylar Diggins comes back. This team is bad. This team is bad.
I don't think Dallas is a good team, but at least they can score. The issue is defensively, but Phoenix, they can't really guard anybody. Griner's been in and out of the lineup. Tarazi's older. And they kind of have issues all over the place. But there's a reason why this team's the worst team in the league record-wise. And it's because of the fact that this team isn't very good. I know when we did the win total for Phoenix, I was on the under. You were on the under. I thought they might miss the playoffs.
We hammered the under.
At plus 1,000. I thought they were going to miss. I thought they had a shot to miss the playoffs at plus 1,000. Another the worst record in the league. Dallas, once again, not great, but Dallas is already 2-0 straight up against the Mercury this season. So I'm going to go with Dallas to once again beat the same team they've beaten 2 times before, and I think that they're going to win comfortably. Give me the Wings.
Yeah, I mean, I really, this feels so chalk, but apparently it's not because people out there betting the Mercury, and I can't.
It's probably because Griner's back. So they're going to say, well, Griner's healthy again. Maybe they can figure
last
it out.
Game.
Yeah.
And they got
I know. I'm trying to speculate why they're betting.
Oh,
Phoenix.
yeah.
I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, no. They're 2-10 ATS, 1-7 as an underdog, 1-4 at home. I mean, Dallas isn't great either, 1-5-1 ATS on the road, but I'd rather stick my horse behind Dallas than, anything else they have going on here. So
I think Dallas is further along than Phoenix is by a decent margin. That's kind of the argument I'm going with.
Yeah, same. All right, so we're both on Dallas minus 3.5. Give me Dallas first half. Dallas first half minus 1.5. I'm putting a lock on that because this Phoenix Mercury team is really, really bad in the second quarter, man. Like if you just watch and look at their second quarters, there's so many times this season they've actually won the first quarter and then completely dogged out the first half spread because they couldn't do anything in the second quarter, and they just end up, whether it's the second unit coming in and throwing them off because they don't have any depth on this team, or coaching, or whatever it is, this team can never hold on to that first half margin. So I'm gonna just keep fading it. Give me Dallas in the first half -1.5 here. That's one of my favorite plays on the side in this one. I won't play the full game, but I'll play Dallas in the first half.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
All right, 167.5.
It's such a high total, but I think I'm going to lean to the under. Each of the first two games landed 167 or lower. So I know it's close, but still, the point is each of the first two games did go under. I'm hoping maybe with the Mercury, with a new coach, they might show some pride defensively. They've given up at least 97 points in each of the last two games. They can't really score. I think I'm going to lean under. Once again, the fact that both meetings have gone under this number this season tells me that this might be a little bit too high. It's not going to be easy, but I'm going to lean to the under. I'm hoping for a new coach angle. Maybe Phoenix shows up for maybe a little while defensively. But once again, I don't feel great about the total. The number feels like it's where it should be.
I'm just trusting textbook reverse line movement. Everybody's betting the over for clear reasons. Obvious reasons. Phoenix Mercury last 5 games, 91.2 points per game given up. Dallas Wings last 5 games, 86 points per game given up. Clear and obvious reasons. I can go through here and I can spit out all these different numbers of why we should be taking the over in this game. But for some reason, this total has gone down while everybody's betting over. It's like some 90% of the bets, 90% of the money on the over, yet this has gone down. I'm just going to trust system that I like in reverse line movement. So that's about it.
Yeah. Works for me.
All right. Somebody's asking, do we read the chat? Yes, we just read Double B's comment earlier. I don't what? Yeah, we read the chat. We're here. The chat. Yeah, ask a question. Go ahead, Silva. Ask a question. We got you. We'll answer. We got you. I haven't seen you in here. What's up, Silva? How you doing? Welcome to the WNBA Gambling Podcast on YouTube. Haven't seen you in here, but definitely tap in. He's on an iPhone too. I can see. All right.
One of us.
All right. I gotta get up out of here, man. I got another meeting to go to.
It's fine. We'll skip the player props because we don't really feel great about this game anyway. Do you want to just go to the lock and dog?
If I had to do anything, player prop wise, I'm taking Satu rebounds.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna trust Satu to go crazy on the boards. But everything else does, like, I could see Dallas waxing them and sitting starters. So I trust Satu on the rebounds, but that's about it. Player prop.
I think Natasha Howard's gonna have a good game here.
You said Natasha Howard?
Yeah, I think she's in line for a solid game.
Yeah. I took her under this past weekend but she's been up and down, so she just had a bad game. I think this is another good game for her. Very good, it's a lot of really good, like a lot of movement that's gone in W that a lot of players are playing really well. And Natasha Howard is one of them.
I'm not sure if I want to take a play on it, but I want to at least mention it. Agumbawale assists. She had 8 assists last game. Now, on the other hand, they lost by 10, so she might decide I got to shoot the ball more. But maybe she passes. She had 8 assists. She's always known as being a shoot-first guard. So if you want to go based on that form, you can make an argument for a Agumbawale assist.
Yeah, I like that. I like that play as well. I don't know why I've been so afraid. I think it's just because I know she's going to shoot the ball like 25 plus times.
Oh, no,
so
she's
always afraid.
Yeah,
yeah. All right.
I had to at least bring it up.
Silva said, make sure we got to read Silva comment before he cuts us out again. Lloyd, easy smash. Yeah, we like Jewel Lloyd. Yeah. Jewel Lloyd is my. If nobody knows, show. Yeah, Jewel Lloyd is my favorite player in the W. So I'm always backing Jewel Lloyd overs whenever I can. 100%. All right, lock and dog time. Let's see here. For my lock. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Phoenix is terrible in the first half, man. Give me Dallas -1.5. I don't think the coaching change is changing it. I'll take that as my lock. Dallas -1.5 in the first half. Phoenix really, really bad in that first half, and that second quarter is just really like, where it comes from, because that second unit gets in and things just kind of go stale, and they let teams go on run, and they be down by like 8, 9, 10 points by half. So yeah, Dallas first half -1.5. That's my lock. For my dog.
I feel like Seattle's too basic for you, so you're going to try to
I
go
know
different.
Seattle is kind of basic. So do we go Connecticut?
I'm taking
Connecticut.
Seattle. I'm waiting for you. I don't care if it's basic or not. I'm waiting
You're
for you
taking
to pick
Seattle.
something.
I'll take Connecticut. Give me the
Okay.
Connecticut Sun plus 170 on the money line. I think there's a chance they get it done today. This is Commissioner's Cup. This can really, really set the tone for them going forward the rest of the season, kind of put them in the driver's seat. One, not only to claim a Commissioner's Cup title, but to also say, hey, we can be the number one team in the East too. So give me Connecticut Sun plus 170 on the money line. That's my dog. Scott, over to you.
All right. So for this one, I am going to go with the Wings minus the 3.5 or minus 3, I should say, as my lock. They've won each of the first two meetings by 5+. Phoenix is a mess. They just switched coaches. Good luck to them. They've lost the last 2 games by 20+ points. The last 4 games by 18+ points. I'm going with Dallas. I know this team's not great on the road. They're 1-6 on the road. I get it, but I do think Phoenix once again is a mess. So give me Dallas minus three on the spread, and for my dog, give me Seattle money line. Simply put, Minnesota's not good enough to be laying at home. I think you're going to see the Storm come out. Lloyd plays well. You're going to see Nurse play well. I think they get it done. So give me the Storm on the money line at plus 140.
All right. Another lock for me, just to make sure
Minnesota
I
team
make this.
total under is a bonus lock there.
Yeah, and Seattle's team total over is the
Yeah.
bonus lock as
Okay.
well.
Fair.
Like we just have a whole script for how this game is gonna go. All right, Scott. Anything else for the people before we get up out of here?
No, you got to get out of here. So there you go.
All right, he's at Rush Hour Radio. I'm at really real __. Make sure you follow us on Twitter if you want to catch any more additional WNBA picks or anything like that. Go to the picks page, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WNBA-picks. That is our link for the picks page where all our picks go up on the website. And I am 56% leading the field on the season in the WNBA. All right. Other than that, make sure you leave a review. Make sure you like the video. We got 11 people in here. It should be 11 likes when I go check later. 12 when I add mine. Other than that, I have nothing else to say, nothing else to do. No other way of ending the podcast. We're just going to end it like this. So we are out of here.